Well, hi. Today is Thursday, November 6, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. We have made it to Thursday, and we have the Rev Pitch competition coming up tonight that is going to be at Pace. And from what I understand, you can still get your tickets. You can buy tickets at the door. They're $15, and it's a full evening of networking. You get to watch the five businesses that will be pitching for now $20,000. We'll see how the judges decide to do this. Some years they award it all to one business. Some years they have kind of like a first and second place, if you will. And I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today, that every year that I've been, and I think I know who's going to win, I don't know who's going to win. It always seems to go in a different direction than what I anticipated. But I'm looking forward to a great evening tonight. Also, want to say well done on all the voters passing the Iowa Western bond issue. It passed on Tuesday night, not just by a little, but by a lot. They needed 60% yes votes. They got over 70% because everyone saw what type of value the facility is going to bring to Southwest Iowa with building something to do more blue-collar teaching and in the trades. And didn't raise your property taxes, which is why I thought that it was a no-brainer that we should pass this. And that's exactly what happened. Speaking of the election, we are going to have a new mayor in Council Bluffs, and also there is a couple of new council members that will be sitting on the council beginning in January. And one of them is Cole Button. Cole is a correctional officer, and he ran for a city council in the last election and did not get there. However, this year he did, and I had an opportunity to catch up with him yesterday. He was very gracious with his time, and you'll hear in the interview, and I'll just tell you again now because it's worth repeating, that Cole ran a very clean and positive campaign. I don't know that I ever saw him talking about anybody else other than himself. And that's the type of candidate that I can get behind. And I'm glad that he's going to be sitting on the city council now. Again, he did everything right. And I hope that he can be a role model for that type of campaign for others when it comes time to run. The problem is that negativity usually draws more attention, and I'm just not a fan of it, and I don't like it here. But you've heard me talk about that before. I don't need to start climbing up that soapbox again. Cole Button, brand new city council member in Council Bluffs, our guest today on Morning Coffee. If you need precision metal fabrication done right, look no further than Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs. From custom welding to large-scale manufacturing, bringing your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. Is it industrial? Is it commercial? Is it custom fabrication? Doesn't matter. They're going to get the job done on time and built to last. Go to foxcofab.com. Take a look at some of the projects they've already completed. Maybe it will kick an idea into your head. A sign for your man cave, some marketing materials for your business, laser etching on glass or on metal cups, or maybe some metal business cards. Foxcofab.com is the website, and you can put your order in there. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installation. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. So, residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit waldsteinplumbing.com for a free estimate. Well, when the city council and mayor take office in January in Council Bluffs, there's going to be a new look to a lot of the seats, and one of those is Cole Button, winner last night on the city council. Congratulations, sir. Well done. Very well-run campaign, and I liked how positive you kept everything out there on social media or wherever it was. To me, this should be the gold standard for how to do campaigning. I thought you did a wonderful job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about what the process was for you going through this. There's not any real definitive way to do polling, is there? So was there any way of knowing or an indication as to what was going to happen?
No, we didn't have like any sophisticated polling data for a local down ballot race like this. I mean, I don't even think the mayoral candidates really had anything like that I'm aware of. So we just kind of had to go off of what we're hearing, what we're seeing, things going on in the community. The primary was a little bit of an indicator of where people were standing. But then obviously turnout in a general election is always much higher than it is in a primary. So we didn't really have a whole lot of data to go on. We just had to keep pushing and hope for the best.
Did you happen to hear where the percentage number was? I know that just over 13,000 votes were cast. How does that equate to how many registered voters we have that were available to vote in the election? Do you happen to know that information?
When I was with the county auditor last night at the courthouse, she was looking for that number on the sheet. They didn't have it printed on there, but obviously it was substantially more than the primary, which was at about 11.8%. So you kind of factor roughly about 20 to 25%, I'd say.
When you take a look at historically the way elections are, especially in an off year when there's no national election going on, turnout is always low. The 11% that you said in the primary was actually higher than average of typically what we would see. So I think that getting 13,000 people out voting was an indication that there's a lot of interest this cycle in what's happening in Council Bluffs.
No, yeah, absolutely. I know before the election, before the primary, they were anticipating maybe 10% voter turnout based on historical averages, which is pretty typical for a local down ballot race in this area. But I think the mayoral race, the mayoral candidates, I think that really drove a lot of people to go to the polls who don't normally vote in these local races. A lot of people will only vote for national elections, or they'll only vote in statewide and up, which is unfortunate. But I think a lot of the mayoral candidates really drove home their bases and energized their groups a lot, which is why we saw it go from above that 10% projection to 11.8%, which, like you said, it's still low. It's still less than we'd like to see, but it was higher than what was anticipated, which was good.
I know I was visiting with somebody last night that had some information as to how the turnout was going, and he said, "Yeah, it seems to be pretty high. For what we would typically see, that we got a lot of people coming out." I voted. It was about 1 PM when I voted, and it was just me and one other person. But that's an odd time to be there. It's after lunch. It looked to me like things were starting to really pick up after work, and I like to see that. I like to see people getting out and being involved with it. And also you being involved, Cole. I mean, this is not the first time you've run for office. You have a passion for being in community service the way that you are. So I'm sure that there has to be a little bit of, I mean, let's be honest, there has to be a little bit of a sense of pride for you knowing that, hey, I put in a lot of work here over the years, and now, I've seen the fruits of that labor.
Yeah, no, I mean, I worked hard in this community for a long time. I was campaign manager for our current sheriff, and I've helped manage campaigns for some city council people, some county supervisors. Been very active in local politics and local community service. So it was nice to see, a lot of the turnout from a lot of the people that I built relationships with over the years. I know we worked really hard. We had a really good team. We had a really good showing, thankfully, and I'm very grateful for all of that.
Well, now you gave yourself a job, and now you got the hard work really starts. So let's discuss some of the things that you are wanting to address, and some of the issues that are currently facing our city.
Yeah, so obviously what's going on right now, probably the biggest issue that we're facing and the top priority for me is this homeless issue and the people being brought in from other communities and other departments in other states. That obviously people have saw what's on the news with.
Yeah, we saw that what just happened with somebody just getting dropped off,
Yeah, yeah,
just
in their
across the border. Yeah.
in their inmate uniform, and I mean that's completely unacceptable. They're just trying to dump off their problems that they don't want to deal with on us, and now it's on our first responders to deal with it. It's on our taxpayers to pay for it, and that's unacceptable. We have to stop that, absolutely. So the first priority is going to be stopping this inflow of new problems coming into our community and from other communities that don't want to deal with it. They want Council Bluffs to deal with it so they don't have to. So that's going to be the first priority that we have to tackle.
And two things they really kind of run tandem. I mean, we got homelessness and we got housing issue with the lack of. Now, we just had a show on talking with one of the folks, one of the builders, and with the apartment complexes that are going up. And these are good steps, I think. And it's a journey to get where we need to get. I've heard people complain, well, that's just a drop in the bucket. Okay, well, we have a lot of drops. We'll fill that bucket. We just have to keep working on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 1,800 units scheduled to be completed by 2030, which is a good step in the right direction. But we got to keep going. We need dynamic housing. So not only single family units, but duplexes, triplexes, apartment complexes. And one of the things that I talked about on the campaign trail was that we have a lot of potential with our existing properties right now with our city surplus program. We got to make sure that I think that we need to make sure that we're going to change the code and make it easier for people to build smaller homes and guest homes and things of that nature so that we can get some of these empty lots off the city surplus program that are just sitting empty because they're too small to build anything on and stay in compliance with the code. Well, we got to change that code so we can allow smaller builds to happen on those and get some of these people who are looking to buy a house but are looking for something smaller, get some of that more inventory brought into the marketplace. And then also something I brought up on the campaign trail was that I've been serving my second term on the county compensation condemnation board, and we have a lot of condemned and abandoned properties throughout the city. We got to work with our nonprofit partners. We got to work with our developer partners, and we got to get those properties either demolished or up to code and get those reoccupied so we can get people in those homes, get them back on paying property taxes, because right now they're contributing zero, so that we can build our tax base and broaden the tax base and get those added to the real estate supply, because right now demand just far exceeds supply.
Something else that I noticed as I was doing this interview with a builder that was out on Veterans Highway where the new apartments are going up, and I got to thinking about it. When you go out there, there's a very large subdivision. There's new apartments, but I don't see a lot of services out in that part of town. And I was kind of curious about that. I would think that, okay, maybe there'd be another gas station would want to go in with that level of population, or, a coffee shop or some different things like that. But you have to go a lot further east on Veterans Highway in order to find any of those things. And I just was curious about your views on those kind of things, because building everything together, you got residential and you got commercial businesses, that is how we see a really robust economy and community grow.
Right. No, absolutely. And you're exactly right. We got to have not only residential, but we also have to have commercial in that area as well. And one of the things that I was hearing over and over while campaigning was from business owners was about how difficult Council Bluffs can be to work with as a prospective business owner for the community. Just kind of how difficult City Hall can be to deal with. And that's something I heard over and over again. So if we want to attract more businesses to come to Council Bluffs and want to set up places like gas stations and shops and other services in these areas, we got to change the culture, and we got to make Council Bluffs more business friendly. We got to make it easier for businesses to stay in compliance with all the codes. We got to make sure that the codes that we have in place make sense and that they're not overly burdensome on the businesses. But yeah, so that's probably the biggest thing for that is if we want to attract services, we got to change the culture and we got to help businesses.
You had talked before the last time that we visited about wanting to keep lines of communication open and to be able to, just like you talked about, hearing from people in the community. How are you planning on doing that? What are some of the different ways that you want to make yourself available to the people of Council Bluffs?
I'd like to see more opportunities for public input before major votes. Obviously when we had that Dodge, when the city council had that Dodge Park vote, one thing that I heard after the fact was that a lot of people didn't feel like there was a lot of opportunity to talk to their city council members beforehand, prior to the meeting, where you can go up and talk at the microphone. And I think that's a problem. I think some of the city council members went out and put on their own kind of town hall, forum to meet with people and answer their questions. I think we need more of that. I think we got to make sure that if people have questions or concerns about an upcoming issue, that there is ample opportunity for them to meet with their city council people and make their voice heard and ask those questions so that they can be better informed before the vote and so that the council members can be better informed from the people before any votes. So I think that's the first step we got to do. And, me personally, I will give my cell phone out to anybody who wants it. So anybody who wants to, call me or text me with questions about any particular issues or message me on Facebook, anything like that. I try to respond to every single inquiry that comes in. I try to do that as fast as I can. That's my approach as well, is I'm very easily accessible. I think a good representative should be. I think that if somebody has a thought or a question or concern on an issue, it should be easy for them to get in touch with that representative. So that's how I handle that as well.
Well, I can testify to that. I reached out to you to say, "Hey, congratulations! I'd love to have you on the show. You available for an interview?" And now here we are. I mean, so
Yep.
yes, that it does work. I'm a witness to just how that process can be effective. So you're going in January, and then we're not really sure yet, are we, about how Jill Shudak's seat is going to be replaced, because she was not up for reelection on the city council, that particular seat, and now she's going to be moving into the mayor's office. So any word yet on how that process is going to go?
Yeah, they were talking about that a lot at the courthouse last night after the results came in. And from my understanding, there's different avenues that can go through. Either the city council can appoint somebody to finish out her term, or it can be done through a special election. And personally, I would prefer to see it done through a special election. I would rather the voters being able to directly decide who fills that seat. I would rather see that than just the council members picking somebody to join them. I know some people say, well, that would cost money to hold an election. Yeah, but I don't think that that's a waste of taxpayer money. I think, making sure that your voice is heard and that you have somebody representing you who was actually elected into that position. I think that is exactly what taxpayers want to see their dollars used for. So I'm comfortable with that. So I would prefer to see a special election be done, but there's definitely going to be more conversations down the road on how that'll happen after she gets sworn in on January.
And I'm guessing then that you haven't had any conversations yet to know how any of the other council members are feeling about this particular thing.
No, I mean, obviously we just found out last night
Yeah.
that we're getting a new mayor. So I haven't had any conversations with them yet on that. So that'll be ongoing discussion.
Well, I am again, congratulations for
Thank you.
running. I can't say it enough that we've seen so much negativity out there, and we see so many people taking shots, and you never went down that road the entire time. You just stayed on, here's who I am. And I would love to represent you based on who I am. And that has my deep respect that you were able to keep everything civil the way that you did. And I'm hoping that it'll be an indication that we'll see more and more of that, not just at the city level, but how about we do it at the state level and even the national level? How about that? Do you think we can pull that off?
That we can only hope, right?
Exactly. All right, Cole Button, thank you so much for your time. This platform here is one of the ways that you can stay in touch with people. So I hope that you'll reach out, and if you've ever got anything that you want information you want to be able to get out, just let me know, and we'd love to be able to do that for you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So with 2 new council members and a new mayor that are going to be sworn in January, there's definitely going to be some fresh leadership in Council Bluffs, and we'll see how everything goes. I know that probably there's going to be some surprises for everyone after they get in there and realize that just how complicated some of these issues that we have can be. But we have voted folks in, and now it's time to get behind them. And, let's see if we can't get some of the issues solved that we have around our city. Technology should work for you, not against you. And at ThinkSpace IT, they provide expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely. From cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support, they simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. And if you are feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, The Spiral of Accountability by local author Carol Horner is your guide to breaking free from the fog that clouds decision-making and relationships. Learn how to recognize negative cycles, shift your mindset, and build a culture of clarity and collaboration at work, at home, and in life. Something we haven't mentioned for a while, but you know that you can have Carol come talk at your business, and she can conduct workshops with your team, teaching them how to better communicate with each other. There's been some very successful events already held around our area, and you can go to spiralofaccountability.com, learn more about Carol, pick up a copy of her book while you're there, and also reach out to her and get more information about her coming in and speaking directly to your team and addressing some of the issues that are unique to what it is that you're dealing with. So again, the website, spiralofaccountability.com. Thank you again, Cole Button, for joining us today on the show. We're going to keep getting more of the new elected officials on the program. And so if you are a newly elected official and I haven't reached out to you yet, give me a call, huh? I'd love to hear from you. You can send me an email at toddstuder@gmail.com. My name is Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.